mountain is the bottom of another. The top of every mountain is the bottom of another. Run for cover, you discover some will thrive and others suffer. Cause the top of every mountain is the bottom of another. Ooh, don't wait, don't hesitate. Better speak the truth, let it resonate and let it detonate and get blown away. Till you keep on rising to a higher place. Can't stop, won't stop, don't stop coming till we hit the top. Gotta keep pushing till the day I make it. Since they won't give it to me, then I got to take it. The pain today is power tomorrow. Keep on coming, but you'll never catch me running. Cause I won't bow down. No matter what they say, I wouldn't do it any other way. Keep on coming, but you'll never catch me running. Cause I won't bow down. The top of every mountain is the bottom of another. The top of every mountain is the bottom of another. Not enough, they keep us smothered. Lower class, never the upper. Cause the top of every mountain is the bottom of.
Hello.
Oh, I thought something happened on my
I
end.
think no, he's muted.
Oh, he's still muted?
Dramatic pause for effect. Pause.
At first I thought it was mine. I'm like, oh, this stupid internet is missing. Oh, he must. Okay, he's got a little bit of an issue going on. Okay.
No, he noticed.
Oh, okay. He noticed. And we're live.
Yep, he definitely noticed.
Oh.
But while he's taking care of that, good evening, morning, or afternoon, everyone. This is the How to the South, Dominic Powell, and welcome to tonight's episode of the Real Millennials. Well, pretty much almost the third time. In today's episode, we're going to talk about werewolves. Well, not just them, but also different types of were creatures and shapeshifters across the world. So to my left is the Stranger Danger and Snarker, Dark Stranger. He's still recovering. A little under the weather, but he'll make it. On my side is the lovely Lady of Valor, Leia plus size.
Good late night, everybody. This is Leia plus size, your lovely Lady of Valor, and tonight we are going to have a conversation about werewolves. You know how we are. So if you have a favorite werewolf film, genre, TV show, book, novel, comic book you want to mention, please leave it in those comments. We would love to hear from all of you, and thank you all for coming, and hope you enjoy the conflab we're going to have.
Was the writer Humble Marty?
Hello, this is Humble Marty, and I rate things, and I made sure to get my monster books out.
And finally, our fearless leader, and as well as the chivalrous pervert, Wolf.
Spoken like a true number 2. So, how long before I disappeared?
Good question.
Was I even there?
Oh wow. I can't like no less than like 5 minutes.
So you did get my intro.
Yes, we got the intro, and then after the intro ended, you disappeared.
Oh, I
Yeah.
was
Yes,
I
after
was
the intro.
I had this long-winded announcement, and well, you took care of that anyways, along with the formalities. So let's get to it. Where are we gonna start, Dom? How are we gonna start? Lycanthropy, the history of it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like there's another history of werewolves, how they came to be, the history and mythology behind them, and really what draws people into these particular type of supernatural creatures.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, good Lord. Oh, stranger.
I'm sorry, I heard something and it was just boring me to death.
Don't worry. We'll get to the. We're going to get to the good stuff in a minute. We're going to get to the good stuff in a minute. So it'll give you a chance to rest your voice. You've got a cold, so it'll give you a chance to rest your voice until we get to the good stuff. I was going to say, did lycanthropy, didn't the mythology of it begin with Greek mythology? There was a
Yes.
story about.
Make it easy for you, Leah. Just call it what it is. Furries.
Okay.
Not wrong.
Look, oh, yes, but the werewolves' origins, like they all go all the way back to the Greeks.
There
With King
was,
Lycan,
yeah. Go ahead, Dom.
King Lycan, he's fight. His fight Emperor's caused him to turn into a werewolf, and any of his descendants will carry on the curse.
Yeah, I think it began. You're correct. Basically, King Lycan. I don't know if he angered the gods or did something against the gods, so they cursed him into becoming a werewolf.
He snuck it. He basically murdered his son and cooked him up and served him to the gods. And one of the poor goddesses ended up eating his shoulder.
Yeah.
In Greece and Rome, it was known as the Versipellis or turnskin in Latin.
You're right. I just saw a video on Mythical Arcane, one of my favorite channels, did a story on that mythology. For time's sake, we won't go deep into it. But basically, they're right. And I'm assuming this is where the legend or myth or whatever you want to call it of the werewolf got its beginning. Look, it sounds like something out of Game of Thrones. Wolf would love that story. Wolf, you familiar?
Oh, it's also got a.
What was it, Humble?
Sorry, I was gonna say it's got kind of a history similar to like the dragons, where it's like every country had its own version of the beast, but it was always something different and something kind of local, like the werebear of North America and Russia, the wereboar in various Greece and Turkey. Were crocodile was people that had a charm for the metamorphosis, and they'd await their human prey on the banks of river and lake. Were dog, which was in the island of Timor near Papua New Guinea. Were fox, China and Japan. Were hare was South United States. Basically, take one of your local animals, add the word were behind it, and there you go. Versipellis, the local edition.
Well, that's actually each of these different work creatures, even though they come from different parts of the world and their origins are different. One of several commonalities is the theme of transformation, and whether persons born that way or they were cursed, the curse is carried on through their descendants.
Oh, the one I found pretty funny was recognition of the werewolf followed some of the traditions of the vampire. Eyebrows that met between their eyes, different colored eyes, fangs instead of canine teeth in their mouths. Their fingers may be short with claw-like nails, and they may have the ruddy birthmark known as the mark of Cain, and above all, hairy skin.
It's actually funny you mentioned that because I was also going to bring that up. And well, in Bulgaria, you have the Verkolak, the Bulgarian werewolf that gets this. After they die, they actually turn into a vampire.
Oh,
A little OP much.
She's
the
right.
Well,
That's-
sure.
funniest
Well,
part
meanwhile,
is
it can't.
well, the funniest part is it sounds like a Claude version of Ed from Ed, Ed and Eddie.
Meanwhile, in
You would
Canada,
have.
another.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, well, I will. Well, no, you finish, and then I'll continue.
Well, mine was perfectly abnormal. The only thing I could think of was you've got a clawed man with a unibrow, weird birthmark, and fangs, and he goes from being a hairy dog to a hairy vampire.
Huh. Interesting.
Quite.
My
Right.
favorite one
Yeah.
was. Oh, my favorite one was when they did I don't know, one guy on YouTube did a scientifically accurate version of it. Like, if he transformed, there would be so much heat they'd literally light on fire mid-transformation.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So we've had the myth, or whatever way you would put it, at a folktale or legend of the werewolf, starting with Greek mythology and passed down through European culture and other cultures, as Humboldt has mentioned. I recently watched a video about how it came to be in European culture, particularly in a French village where people, much similar to the Salem witchcraft trials, were put on trial and eventually executed for being accused of being for lycanthropy or being werewolves. There were many fierce trials with that happened, and now if anyone's interested, I can get that video to you.
Go talk about that.
Yeah, talk
Wh-
about
what?
it. I mean, like one of the most like famous documented cases of people like accused of or confirmed to be a werewolf or a type of were creature is the beast Givaudan. No, and actually
Oh,
the
the
type
wolf
of
of
werewolves I
Gevaudan.
referred in, yeah, and and like these types of like werewolves, well, like over in France, they're called like the loup-garou or the rougarou, and they're even like mentioned in Louisiana. Although there is actually there's a funny variant of a were creature is once again a werewolf, but the thing is, this one is called the Discleveret, and now with this type, like he or she cannot return to their human form unless it can put its clothes back on.
Huh.
That sounds like a dilemma right there.
Right?
At least it's
Like-
not like the one where a sorcerer would eat the brain of the wolf.
Right.
No, I'm
But
just
a
thinking
person-
like you better hope you don't turn into a feral creature, otherwise getting those clothes back on with no hands.
Now, well, before we go back with Leia, what she has to say, a different type of like a work creature or shapeshifter. See, these guys originated in Ethiopia, Morocco, and Tanzania, and these are like Buddhas. No relation like to Buddhism. The Buddha is they're spelled Boudas. Is a sorcerer or blacksmith that changed into a were hyena, and they often wear an ornament from its human form by which it may be recognized.
Huh.
So that's where that come from. Interesting.
Now, Leah, would you like to share with the rest of the pieces?
Well, I can't remember everything because the video was rather long, but basically what the video did is it started how the myth originated and how the legend and the stories of being a werewolf was transported into Europe. Now, there was one small French village that accused a man of being a werewolf because cattle and children were being found ripped to pieces, and the cattle were found being ripped to pieces, and they feared that some form of werewolf was in the village. But for one strange reason or another, this man got accused of being that person, and then he confessed himself that he was the one that was doing this. And the story goes that the devil cursed him into being this werewolf, and he was the one causing this. So they executed him. I think they burned him at the stake for believing to be one. So myths about that. That's how it got spread throughout Europe and through London. There was another one through Europe. I forgot what village it was that claimed a certain clan of people were cursed by a witch, and that made them into werewolves. And then there was some clan that did not fear these werewolves, but turned in order to protect their village. So some were like werewolf warrior types, and the people would not be afraid of them, but praise them, you could say, because when they turn into werewolves, they protect their village from their enemies. So that's how that got started. And the different legends, and around this time you got different ideas about the werewolf, such as changing during a full moon, or what other legends do we know? The silver bullet legend came a little bit. I think the silver bullet, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the silver bullet legend came from movies. Was movies the one? Yeah, I think movies originated the idea of a silver bullet, because back then there was never mention of killing a werewolf with a silver bullet. Back in the early times, a simple gunshot wound to the head, I believe, would take one out. So different versions of this.
As you do.
Yes. But I think Hollywood came up with the idea of silver taking out, or a silver bullet. Silver seems to be this common factor among supernatural creatures.
I can't tell you how many times I had to dodge so many bullets. They were out from my head.
Well, good for you. Good for you that you were able to dodge them. Silver seems to be this tying factor to supernatural creatures. Vampires have to be taken out by silver stakes, wolf by silver bullets. So I'm not going to make a long story short.
It's because silver is usually seen as a purifying element.
Yes. Yeah, it's a purifier.
In a lot of legends, the weakness can sometimes change from werewolf to werewolf.
I mean, usually you see them go like gold crosses because gold is pure, but really they always treasured the silver cross over gold, because gold has its own representation, while silver had this greater representation of purifying and all that.
And then you had this, there was a disease that people had where, and I'm sure you're aware of this, where they had hair that grew on their faces. So they looked like wolves or something. And a lot of people believe these people were werewolves, but it was actually some sort of disease where you get facial hair all over your face and it covers your whole face up. But sadly enough, they believe these poor people were werewolves, but it was facial hair. So different myths throughout Europe, you can see all melted into what we think the werewolf legend is. It changes over time.
The version of the werewolf in England was, they thought it was witchcraft because they didn't know where the wolves came from, even after they died out from being hunted to extinction.
You're right. Yeah, a lot of them was.
I remembered looking up a bunch of stuff on witchcraft and things, and one of the reasons why Christians were so opposed to it is because lots of magical practices is basically another religion, and there is one commandment that says, "There shall be no God before me." And, and trying to mess with supernatural forces invites supernatural forces, and most of the times they are not very good. Or imposters, because they love being imposters.
Right.
Yeah,
but the weakness to silver is not a recent invention done by Hollywood. There were actually mythological reasons for why silver is like a weakness to not just werewolves but other were creatures. Because with silver it acts as a divine material with protective powers. It's an element that can destroy magic, and it's pretty convenient.
You can
Hmm.
see why. Yeah, you can see
But
why.
also with silver, it has like has antibacterial properties.
So we can see why they would use it against a supernatural creature such as a vampire, but in this case, a werewolf too. You only it shows in movies you can only kill it. It must be a silver bullet to kill, such as Well,
But
I'm not going to
the
get
thing
into
is
it.
like what most movies from Hollywood what they get wrong is that silver is not the only weakness werewolves and were creatures have. That's because silver it harms like the Fae. Well, actually, to be fair, no, it's not silver. It's iron. Iron harms like the Fae. But other weaknesses like werewolves have are wolfbane, iron, and electricity.
One of the biggest ways to find out what was a were animal's weakness was to look at where they came from. Some of them, it could have been, if they're magic in origin, you could use something counter to defeat them.
Yes.
Other types of spells, especially the Christian level legends, those have actually the most graphic fights.
You got that right.
They used kind of a scorched earth thing. But that's probably because the European werewolf is the one that's most known for having that ravenous appetite and prone to cannibalism.
There is actually a type of were creature that does. As for like another variant, well, outside, like on a side note, there's one in Iceland called the Hammermere. And it's a were creature that shifts into the form of the animal it has most recently eaten, which means like its strength actually increases with each animal that it consumes.
Could you imagine if that person had that and one of their favorite things to go to was KFC? Behold the were chicken.
Yeah, but the chicken is already dead. So I imagine what the Hammermere like it would want to like consume the animal while it's still alive.
Apparently, if you throw rice seeds behind you you could distract a pursuing werewolf would be compelled to stop and count them.
Wait a minute. Wait, that doesn't sound like a rare creature. That sounds like one of the vampire variants.
Yeah, sounds like something for the
Vampires in
vampire.
general.
This was looked up off of atlasmythica.com. The one werewolf weakness that did show up in the Alvin and the Chipmunks werewolf movie was wolf's bane.
Alvin the Chipmunks.
I mentioned that earlier.
This plant, also known
that's really a
as
consistent weakness.
Mm-hmm. Some of it was known to either cure or repel or turn something into a werewolf.
Right.
Alvin and the Chipmunks werewolf special.
Oh, my favorite one is
It wasn't a special. It was a full movie.
Oh, my favorite
one.
My favorite part was the ending because they bit each other, they got cured, and then that became the new principle.
Uh-huh. What else? Well, let's not forget, like that their neighbor is actually a descendant of like his many great grandfather was cursed into becoming a werewolf. and I mean with a name like Talbot, you can pretty much like get the connection that he is a descendant of Talbot from the Universal werewolf film.
Right.
I remember in book 2 of the Dresden Files, they made the murder suspects be 3 different types of werewolves.
Oh yeah, you see, that's actually a nice transition because I was gonna bring up book 2 of the Dresden Files, Full Moon.
Well, what can you tell me about them?
Well, the interesting is with the third type of lycanthropes, with these guys, like they don't, many werewolves, they don't transform like into werewolves. Instead, they gain the abilities like of the werewolf. So they're still human. They will tear you apart.
Yeah, they were actually the most primal ones too.
Very. While the other type
Lame.
like the Loop Guru, they transform into werewolves like through a pelt.
Nah, that's the skin. No, that's actually the berserker. The Loup Garou was a cursed werewolf, and literally
Right. It's a cursed werewolf.
Yes, and that one was from
But
French
that'd
folklore.
be type 2.
Yeah, and it is basically a tank.
Yeah. Yeah, but the ones that transform into werewolves like through a pelt, well, like that's actually the third type of werewolf.
Mm-hmm.
Type 4.
Lame.
The fourth type are the lycanthropes.
There was that one Goosebumps episode with the werewolf skin, though.
Yeah.
Both of
True.
Sword Fever.
Yep.
And as far as we know, there are 2 ways you become a werewolf. You either are cursed, as you guys mentioned, or you are bitten.
Or fucked.
That would be Jennifer's body.
Funny.
No, that would be Ginger Snaps.
Yes, that too. But there's been other little werewolf stuff, like some comics and stuff, where guy meets woman bangs him in the bathroom, and suddenly he turns furry.
As mentioned before, we are talking about were creatures and shapeshifters, not just the werewolves, even though like they are like the most known type of shapeshifters. Nonetheless, your point still stands. Although similarly, actually with book, I'm surprised we didn't like bring this up in our Halloween episode or even the previous one, the Real Millennials. The book, actually book one, A Storm from of Dresden Files, they also like actually explore the different types of vampires.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with book two, what I appreciate like about the author Jim Butcher is like he does world building right, as well, including the mystery. And you can also tell that he did his research like when it comes to how to incorporate the different monsters and were creatures like into the setting of the Dresden Files.
I never read that. I never read that.
Magic werewolf is a thing. There is also a
Yes.
romantic equivalent of werewolf, and that was in the young adult
Okay.
novel Blood and Chocolate.
I saw that movie. That movie sucked.
I read the book.
I'm sure the book is better.
The
Why don't
book
we
is
talk
in.
about the favorite werewolf thing that Leia really loves, since
Okay.
she's Team Jacob.
What is going?
Oh man!
No,
It's
she's
okay, you're not alone. Final part of that club too.
Oh, good Lord.
He saw that Cinnamon Man's muscles despite his bad acting. He's like, ooh, I want to be like that one day.
Oh, good Lord.
Nah,
Good
it's
man,
like
I
the
want
Jack
to grow up to
Nicholson
be.
movie.
What
would have been
movie?
more.
Wolf.
Oh, I didn't like that one that much.
Yes,
It
you
would have
You
did.
been
see,
more
here's the
impressive
thing.
if it would
I'm
have been
sorry.
more impressive if Jacob were built like a bodybuilder. We already had Edward, who was as skinny as a
Okay.
Twinkie and shined like a diamond.
And could act. I am no
Right.
Twilight. I
But
will say this
but
again, and I will get hated in this chat. I'm sorry, but Twilight really brought a bad shadow on werewolf and vampires. I am sorry. They really set them
Not
back
even skinwalkers could even mend the reputation.
after what Twilight.
Of werewolves.
The
yeah,
Twilight werewolves are the
yes,
worst version.
skinwalkers are.
Mm,
Oh yeah, of the were. Well, not just the vampires, but also the also like the werewolves as well.
They're not
Yes.
even werewolves. They're skinwalkers. They're shapeshifters.
Skinwalkers. Yeah, but
eh,
even the skinwalkers, even the skinwalkers were done dirty by the Twilight series. Let's get back on track. Track with what you were saying earlier, Marty, about the about the werewolves. Like in the Dresden Files series. Well, in this case, it's called Therianthropy, and it's actually based off an actual term in the real world.
mhm.
It's just as a slight correction, there are actually 4 types. So since we are talking about the wolf type of Therianthropes. So yeah, the classic werewolves, people who become werewolves through magic. And you mentioned the Lucaru, who is a person who's cursed to become a wolf during a full moon, right?
Mhm. And his ex was a wolf who could turn into a human.
Yeah.
Best
And
part out of the
well, the
book,
hex.
best part of the book was when she revealed it by transforming into this beautiful woman, completely naked, distracts 2 guys, and they get knocked out. And she ends up saying, "Oh,
Oh yeah, I
men have a
remember.
lot in." She's like, "Men have a lot in common. They get distracted by the butt."
Yeah. Well, one of the other types
When we get
is the
your humor, humble.
right. Well, you also have the other type is or as a person who can transform or being able to transform into a wolf-like beast through a magic talisman provided by another being. And as mentioned before, with lycanthropes they don't physically transform into werewolves. Well, but they gain the abilities of one.
Mm-hmm.
And see, over the years, the mixture of these myths and tales that have been told and passed down is sort of molded into what we see the werewolf today, particularly in film and media. Some to have different takes on the werewolf, some make up their own, and then some take these myths and turn them in and stretch them and turn them into something either different or something that fits the film. And when we get more into werewolves in the media, we'll go into that, how different movies have given their different interpretations of werewolves, some with similar stories, and then some that sort of give a different twist on it.
How
Yeah,
deep are
I
you going
mean,
to go into it, Leia?
Oh, good.
look, look, yes, there is Werewolf the Apocalypse, which is part of Old World of Darkness, aka Classic World of Darkness. But the type of werewolves that you're referring to is from a different tribe, and in that setting they're called the Garu. Essentially, and what makes and how like this like word portrays were creatures. Well, with the werewolves, the Garu, you're essentially born as a werewolf instead of being cursed into one. And
Garu.
essentially, yes, and the Garu essentially act as
Garurumon!
the Garu essentially and again like they're pretty much born like as werewolves or any type of essentially act as guardians against this like demonic entity called the worm. But with the Garu, it's like they're not doing their jobs as guardians well because of a lot of interpersonal conflict between the different tribes. And yes, you do have the environmentalist type of werewolves, Amazon themed werewolves. But think of them as what would happen if you give lycanthropy to third and fourth wave feminists. Not fun.
You ended up with no. You
Why is it
ended up
always the
with
white women and
the
the dogs?
Oh,
book
good Lord,
about
stranger.
yeah. You ended up with the book about girls who, during their time of the month, turned into werecats.
and they are a thing. And werecats are actual creatures, not made up.
Yeah, but if you want a good werecat story, R.L. Stein wrote a better one. It was the werecat one from Fear Street, where the lady wore a cat necklace and it turned her into a werecat. The other
Yeah.
one,
Zombie Island,
they
Scooby-Doo.
never got to the.
Oh, that's true.
They never got to the good stuff. They were still stuck in the feminist dystopia.
Oh God.
And that thing is actually very hard to market. Because it's more about PMS and less about the monster in PMS.
These bras wish that
But at least it's bloody.
Power.
Oh,
Eh,
These bras always
So-
want to turn their PMS into a superpower.
honestly,
Right.
the one that
And-
did it better was turning red.
Oh no, we don't need. Well, we're not gonna talk about that. And
True.
those who are curious, or a little familiar with the world of darkness. There's one of the tribes I mentioned earlier. They're called the Black Theories, and as mentioned before, it's composed entirely
Black
of
is
female
a theory
werewolves.
now? Wolf, can you
Black,
explain
they're called the
this?
Black Theories.
Wait, what? What?
Like the Theories, and it's composed entirely of female werewolves.
So black is a theory, but it's all run by women who think black is a theory.
Oh, jeez.
that's his interpretation.
So what is
Look,
black
to make it
power if black is a theory? Does it
Look,
really exist?
long story short,
Was
or
Michael
you
Jackson
do not.
really white all along?
Long story short, you do not. You don't want to be near the Black Furies because they're dangerous.
Wouldn't want to be around them if they smell like wet dog, anyways. You know their cooch smell like wet dog.
I'm pretty sure their cooch would always
Wet
smell
dog
like
and
wet dog.
fish. That would be one very weird smelling fuzzy beaver.
That'd be rank. Very rank.
Doesn't, like Liz
you
said
might as
that
well.
they always smell the cooch, and that's why it has to smell instead of normal dog ass sniffing.
Oh, you could get that same smell from not changing underpants for several days.
Wait a minute. How did we get from talking about werewolves to smelly underpants?
Well, technically, bad genital hygiene.
Just poking.
Oh, God.
Look,
Oh,
well, if you don't like the Black Theories, you have
Does it
Yeah,
like
you have,
dogs
like-
also eat their own shit too?
if
Well, there
you don't like
is
the Black
a-
Theories,
Stop
Sorry,
you
go
running
on.
down.
if you don't like the Black Furies, there are other tribes within Werewolf the Apocalypse that are more friendlier to humans, such as the Bone Gnawers, who are essentially urban. They're urban,
Bone
but they
Gnawer?
hide Bone
I thought
Gnawers.
I thought he meant Bone Thugs and Harmony.
So they're boners. Okay. So they lick
bone-
too?
Hey, I said Bone Thugs and Harmony. This fool went that way.
Mm,
Yes, but anyway, these guys are pretty much one of the more urban of the werewolf tribes. See, even though they live in the poorest, burned out parts of seems like they're actually pretty well informed. Well informed, like they act as like insiders, if you will. And
They're like the
yeah, the
Nosferatu
glass walkers.
World of Darkness.
Boners that like being inside.
You, yeah, you could say that about Gnawers. The glass walkers, they're the more clean, they're the more clean urban like werewolf tribes. Tribes are also one for it, but they're also very into incorporating magic with technology.
Hmm.
Have the children of Gaia, who was responsible for the creation of the werewolves, and so essentially they want harmony and peace between all the tribes, and also live side by side with humans.
So they're the fag hippies. Okay.
They're not. They're not. Even they like they will keep the distance from the hippies.
No, they'll eat them.
What
Yeah,
about
they hate
ones
them.
like Vice of Kettlebrunn, history's only quote unquote good werewolf? Christian werewolf in Livonian, which was modern day Latvia or Estonia. He was a farmhand and a bit of a faith healer, and he transformed into a werewolf to fight witches in hell, protecting harvests.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, I actually remember like researching that one. I'm surprised like there hasn't been like any works that features that type.
So, what do y'all think about hero werewolves in myth and stories?
Well, they certainly show off like more layers to like werewolves and other were creatures. Because yeah, while we do have like the malevolent types, there are actually ones that not only retain their humanity or gain humanity, but they do act as guardians.
I'm not. I'm from the top of my head. I can't think because I'm thinking about media. I'm thinking
I'm not
about
asking
film,
you to name
television.
them. I'm asking you what you
Yeah.
think about those types of stories where the werewolf is actually the hero this time or a guardian of sorts.
Those are surprisingly very popular.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Again,
Yeah.
there is a story about a colony that had that the men would become werewolves to protect their homes and their families and from enemies, and the town treated them very well, and they were their protectors. I think even some North. Oh, I could be wrong. I think some Norse mythology had some warriors who, through magic spells or through magic, asked to become werewolves to fight off their enemies and to protect their village.
Berserkers.
Yes, that's what they're called. I couldn't quite remember, but something similar.
Berserkers
So
are
they
more of the tank class in the raiding party, though, as was theorized, though.
Right. And William, the type of werewolves that actually become vampires if not properly exercised or killed, that would actually belong to the Verkalock. Now the Italian like werewolves that you're probably thinking of, the Lupo Menedo, or they're also called the Benandanti, and with these werewolves, they actually leave their physical bodies behind to become wolves. At which point, they would go to the underworld to fight witches.
Wolf walkers.
Yep. Yeah, that's about right, Marty.
Basis of such prevalent traditional and folklore beliefs may be the folk memory of prehistoric northern invaders or the mounted fur-clad raiders of warring tribes. The actual enmity between humans and wolves, born as competition for food in times of famine or freezing conditions, may have given rise to the accusation of this beast being able to infiltrate the human psyche.
She's been slowly.
There's
flipping
also
through the
a
pages.
recognized mental condition, lycanthropy, in which the sufferer believes himself to be an animal and will crave uncooked food and even emulate the gait of that animal.
That's probably why we got the mythology and stories of signs of a human. And we all know this. The signs of a human being a werewolf is certain marks on their bodies that come after they're a werewolf, but they don't heal once they become human. Another sign, again, yes, it's raw, uncooked meat. They have a craving for it. And again, in
So
certain
all the Japs
superstitious,
must be werewolves.
oh my God, in certain villages, the superstitions, that's how people got their superstitions. They would wonder, where'd you get those marks from? Where did those marks come from? If you had a craving for a raw or uncooked meat, you were suspected of being a werewolf.
Famous
Or if,
marking would be the 8 pentagram or the 5
yes,
pentagram on the palm of the hand.
hmm
Hmm.
that would be a famous mark. Or you have a wound that it could be a scratch, or it could be an arm, or that didn't heal. Yeah, bite mark that didn't heal when you become human, and that's why some people believed they were
Poor,
they had turned or became one.
poor
Bible.
Ginger off of Ginger Snaps. Hers was probably a hickey.
Jeez. But I will say,
There's that other
briefly
craving
go.
that didn't get addressed. I mean, yeah, there's the raw meat and stuff, but
Yeah.
there's also that other craving
Oh,
to
good Lord!
dominate in a basketball game.
It does highlight that most of the ones that turned into werewolves had better athletic skills and heightened senses.
Right.
But no immunity to diseases.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But and again, well, they're also with the different were creatures, they have different advantages that makes them equal or even actually have an advantage against the werewolf.
It also came at a cost.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Which
And of
is
course,
why,
as mentioned before, when they, as mentioned with Leia with the Native Americans and also with Native Hawaiians, there are different types of skinwalkers. What?
Like the Rock.
Actually, that's what speaking. But speaking of which this type it's called a Wererat, and they like to be ramping around Pennsylvania. Look, the thing with Wererats, they skulk around at night, but instead of craving human flesh, they prefer carrots with ranch dressing. So they're essentially harmless.
Oh,
we're rats in
The were terrier
Pennsylvania.
How you explain the were terrier from iZombie then?
He's Indian.
Oh, a were-dog. Oh, he's a were-dog.
mm.
He's a damn were terrier.
He's a warrior.
Still, he is a variant of a were-dog.
No shit.
The weredog would transform at night, leaving his bodily shell supposedly asleep while he sneaks a victim. The victim's soul will be transformed into some
Okay, if you're
animal
gonna
for the
read from your
table.
book, you gotta be DW from Met School Bus. According to my research,
According to my research, the
Jeez.
soul would get transformed into KFC chicken and would be eaten by the weredog.
Hey,
that's
you
story
asked. Hey, you
time.
asked her. Asked her to explain it.
And she did. That is story
I'm
time.
laughing
with
because
Humble.
it's spot on.
And
Yeah.
should the weredog be discovered, the body is eaten and the evidence is burned.
I'm not gonna lie, you sound like Velma.
For real.
I do very terrible impersonations, but they're bad enough to be fun at least.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's bad. It's good. You should do it
No.
better, Velma. You'd be better than Kalig, whatever
Well,
that
she sounded like
Indian
a
bitch's
very
name was.
Yeah.
Mindy Kaling.
Yeah.
she sounded very she sounded very nasally as a little girl voice. It's like you're doing a little girl's impression of Miss Frizzle while reading the book.
At least it's not like Phoebe. Back at my old school, we never traveled down our classmates' throat.
Oh God, I
We
forgot
just went up their ass.
I forgot she said that, and I remember why I forgot about that because I got tired of her hearing about her fucking school. Bitch, you in a new school. Relax. I love them at school, but there's some things them kids will bring up that I'm like, can y'all shut the fuck up about that? Except for Carlos. Carlos was perfect. Carlos was life. And I know you guys are.
Indeed.
I guess you guys are being quite silent while I'm throwing out a quick rant. So, Werewolf and Media. What is the most common one that's been depicted in most Werewolf media so
A
far?
hairy
Or
one.
not just werewolves, but were creatures in general.
Well, let's
And
pick
werewolves are
werewolf.
usually the most common.
No,
I'm
no,
just
let's
saying,
just
saying like the were.
I was saying let's stick to the werewolves for now because the were creatures don't really. Most were creatures don't really get depicted in movies that much.
Well, not just
Aside,
movies, but other mediums as well.
true, but how often do we get were tigers or even were
Were
jaguars?
jaguars.
We have more
Nice.
werewolves than were jaguars or were panthers or were tigers. So, if you know, I'm not familiar with those. Those don't seem to be as popular. It's the werewolf that has been the most popular creature in media.
Castlevania, the game series, has always been very, shall I say, inclusive when it comes to monster fiction.
Mm-hmm.
Not just vampires, but
Yeah, just
it also has just about almost where anything in those games.
A lot of that.
Ah.
Oh, a lot of
also
the
shows
evil.
that the creators did their research.
Go on, Humble. What are you gonna say?
Yeah, a lot of the ones from the other countries were involving some form of witchcraft. Closest version to that would have been the Anansi episode in Gargoyles.
We're not talking about witches right now.
Oh, I know, but they did have were panthers.
That is true.
Yes,
Well,
and
can we really call them were panthers if the progenitor was originally a pharaoh first?
yes,
But they found a home in Carolina, so that's fine. And they're a fine team. They just don't win anything.
well, since we're speaking of our gargoyles, a Nazi he is a shapeshifter. And let's not forget with Fox, when she was gifted the Eye of Odin, she transformed into a werefox.
Don't ask us to explain why. It just happened.
Magic!
But Goliath did say that the Eye of Odin has the power to reveal one's true self. So, Goliath did say that the Eye of Odin only reveals one's true self. And in Fox's
Okay,
case,
putting
it
up the
unleashed the
vote.
beast within her.
Everybody say yay or nay. We renamed Dom from the Hound of the South to Dompedia.
Oh my lord! Oh my God. Don was
But no,
we'll keep
yeah. I
we'll
mean,
keep him house.
She is sly as a fox. She's wily. She's very cunning as well. And the only thing she's missing is the laughter.
To be fair, the kitsune was also a shape-shifting fox, and one of the ways to reveal him was putting a circle of salt around him.
Yeah,
Those are not were.
Would
Those
make
are not
their
yeah, and of
werewolves.
course,
transformers.
Yokai, or
well,
basically
yeah,
Japanese
yeah, and
spirits.
well, of course, with the kitsune, they're not the only rare creatures in Japan. There's also the Mijina, a raccoon dog and a badger respectively. And
What about
interestingly, the shapeshifters in Japan, like collectively, they're called the Henge, Henge.
what about the
The
Kibakaji
hmm. Well,
or
the one
Kibakaji
thing I remember
clan?
about the tanuki, the size of their tea bags was also the size of their confidence.
Hey, she's not
If
wrong.
they
It's
had
true.
very small tea bags, they were an anxiety-riddled mess. And I got that from the webcomic Chicken and Waffles.
Okay.
Basically, English teacher got to stay in Japan. He got gifted a tanuki as a housewarming gift, but you weren't supposed to take it inside the house. So for the longest time, that thing would annoy the poor guy.
Jeez. I'll say with Castlevania, like it's not the only like work of fiction that is pretty inclusive to not just like werewolves, vampires, were creatures, and everything else in between. Well, there's also Darkstalkers,
Yep.
Hmm.
Night warriors or vampire warriors. Take your
saviors.
pick. Saviors, vampire saviors. Take your pick.
There was also a cryptid that was called the Lelechuza. Along the border of northern Mexico and Texas's Rio Grande Valley, there were whispers of a creature known as La Lechuza, a 7-foot owl with a woman's face whose cries could be heard at night, enticing victims to wander into her clutches.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
These days, she's
Basically,
just a border crosser looking to make anchor babies.
I think she'd eat the anchor babies because in some tellings she was a human woman, but an act of cruelty against her or the child turned her into a vengeful monster. In others, La Lechuza was a witch's familiar, serving her mistress's will by abducting children.
She really
And
wanted those
she,
SNAP and EBT benefits.
Oh my God. Oh
no,
goodness.
her favorite thing was feeding off of negative emotions of the humans who have the misfortune of encountering her.
Hmm.
So if she found a male feminist who got rejected too many times, she'd have a buffet for life.
Now, how do you handle like this type of supernatural creature? How do you get rid of it?
12 gauge.
Well, in every version of the legend, she was basically a banshee, but I'd say cross. Lots of the holy themes usually used to go after the monsters. Experts had been able to loosely trace it off to the broader theme.
It's like some shit they stole from other folklore.
Actually, one of the things that often happened, and yes, stolen legends is true, but the other thing that also happened is when you had newly born again Christians going from one religion to the other, they would use the Christian ways of dealing with the monsters to deal with their own monsters from their own culture.
Mm.
Which, for
Right.
example, with the Kelpie, who would usually transform into either a a very friendly, very sticky horse or a handsome man before it decided to rip you under and eat your kidney. The Kelpie was often beheaded before it could let you, before you lost, before it could take you under.
Right.
And
Huh.
the
That's
closest, yeah, and the closest version to that one had been from the anime Dungeon Meshi.
Oh yeah.
And in Dungeon Meshi, Laios is so obsessed with monsters, people think he's absolutely autistic.
But he's not, and it's confirmed like about the manga herself that no, she, no, Leos is not autistic, and of course, like they got all angry, but she doesn't care.
Eh, personally, I thought it was kind of funny that being obsessed with something and acting like a weirdo was considered normal. And I'm like, that's actually cool. We need more like that. But the part I found really funny is a lot of the things he does to fight some of the monsters are actual solutions in folklore used to fight those monsters.
Oh, very much. So you can tell sure of incorporating like the weaknesses of the different supernatural beings and monsters like into Dungeon Meshi.
The one that took the most, the one time when Laios decided, screw it, I'm gonna impersonate a dog was the Changeling episode, and he decided to fight the Kitsune, which they eventually turned into fox meat.
That's Yeah, even though like he is like an obsessive like with monsters, I was like he's very capable like as a leader because like he does like take his job seriously.
Oh, the funniest part is his sister has the same dream.
Yeah, that's true. It was even like seen in the manga.
Mm-hmm.
I do miss it. I do miss content where you have the town eccentric or the group
Yes.
eccentric. I do miss
Yeah.
that where everybody treats it like it's normal, but they also take things seriously when the where it counts.
Yeah, and of course back then like when creators actually portray like the eccentric or a group of eccentrics, it does not mean that the characters have some type of like alien of the mental side.
Mm. That's been something that's been more modern as of late because
And that's what
sometimes
I
they
mean.
sometimes they use the werewolf story to basically be an allegory for like
AIDS.
fears or mental illness. And I end up looking at this thing and I remember thousands of years ago, it all started from a guy being a general jerk to a god. And it's like, do people really want to associate themselves with that? Because yes, while turning yourself into a physical iteration is supposed to be a way to combat it, it can also immortalize it too.
And they wonder why the gods are so indifferent and such jerks towards mortals.
Some gods
Hmm.
are indifferent if you aren't really like doing anything. But if you do something to tick them off, it's always bad for the person who ticked him off.
Hmm.
Yeah, and of course
Like
that's to say that
like at one point, Zeus got mad at these two guys that made fun of Hercules' hairy rear. Hercules thought it was funny because these guys were like basically Beavis and Butthead. Zeus didn't
Pretty
think
much.
it was funny, so he turned them into monkeys.
Petty.
Essentially.
Monkey. Eh, eh.
Yes, that was Zeus. You are grounded. Return to monkey.
Yeah, actually, although I was surprised that with I'll say like completely touch back on Dungeon Meshi. Like we have not seen like any werewolves or other were creatures in the setting.
Hmm.
I know Leia wants
Used
to
to be-
jump in about the whole world media thing. So,
Hmm.
if there's anything you want to espouse on that front, Leia, go ahead.
Well, we talked about
Yeah,
werewolves
yeah,
in
share stuff.
we
Do you
talked about
prefer them on all fours or bipedal?
moving on. Moving on.
Actually, that's actually a legit question. Would you rather they transform into like four-legged beasts or
Like full
bipedal
wolves,
beasts?
well,
I'm going to
hybrid.
be I'm going to be honest. I kind of like the bipedal, not the bipedal, the two up on
Yeah,
hind
the
legs. I
bipedal.
think it makes I think it
Yeah,
makes
that's
them
that's what
more.
bipedal means.
Oh, okay, bipedal. Okay.
Bipedal, full of four legs is basically bestiality. That's why four leg, nope.
Yeah, no,
It's
for me,
quadrupedal.
no. The walking on the bipedal makes them more ferocious and scarier. I always said what makes a great werewolf movie, and we all, the great movie critics, Siskel and Ebert said the main reason, and this is true, we see these films is we want to see the werewolves. We want to see the werewolves. We want to see the person, the guy transfer into a werewolf, and then the werewolf spreads his horror. And when they are bipedal, I find them to be more frightening and more scary. They've kind of lost that over the years. But if they're more bipedal, I find them
They're
to be
brown
more
back.
ferocious.
They're brown back.
Right.
It's just
When
taking
when
a
is the
while.
Disney's
last
gonna come
one?
back.
Okay, I'll say a
It's
comeback.
taking some time, but it's come back. Twilight hasn't really ruined werewolves completely. It's just
Mm.
Like the Howling and the Underworld series.
Or
The
even
how
Wolf with Jack Nicholson.
oh.
Twilight is the uwuified version. I transform under a full moon. Uwu.
Well, again,
Werewolves, and this is what
they're scale walkers, not really werewolves.
well.
I
There's
guess
also
I'm
the
not
movie
into that though,
Skinwalkers.
because and maybe that's me. Maybe I don't like skinwalkers because I was under the impression that they were selling them as werewolves. Twilight was true, was selling them more as werewolves.
That's
So
what
I
like,
know
Stephanie
the
Meyer
who should
said.
Bella choose, the vampire or the werewolf? If they were werewolves, they were one of the weakest versions of them I think I had ever seen. Because again, a werewolf is supposed to be, and
First,
that's
I
kind of
never
the
really
downside.
liked the shapeshift, or as I don't know where I put it, change at will aspect to werewolves. To be
Yeah,
honest, it just really throws off the earthy in stories and the tragedies that follows with it.
Yeah.
I agree. I much prefer the classic where they can't control what happens to them. The classic story is in most
In
stories,
human, they can kind of, but like after a while, starts it starts overtaking them.
right?
Like in Harry Potter too. Harry Potter, where there's
Mm.
in that case,
Lupus.
yeah, Remus Lupin.
And as much as I really love that Lupin was a sweet guy who got transformed into something hair raising, the one thing I could say that was a drawback of that movie is every time Lupin transformed, he was a hairless dog.
Well, he's got some hair. He just
Oh, I
It's the
know,
scariest looking
but
werewolf I've ever
if
seen.
only they actually added like that a little mohawk of hair, he would have been a perfect Chinese crested.
Nah,
But it's
my main issue of his werewolf form in that film was the fact that he was skinny. It's like I don't want to see
even
no
though
bony ass chihuahua
Mm,
or Gollum wolf.
even
'Cause
though even though like when
looked
one
like he was a
when
werewolf.
one like transform even though like when
there's
one
a
transforms into a were creature like their
there's
body goes through a metamorphosis where they pretty much like gain an athletic build.
there's a lore version to the reason why Lupin is this weeny little werewolf is because he actually actively resisted. He resisted for years, and that tends to do a number on you, bodily, that
Uh-huh.
is. And the ones that didn't were a lot healthier, a lot more frightening, a lot more
We all know
confident.
who we're
Yeah,
talking
I mean heck
about
actually
there.
one of the members of the Death Eaters is a werewolf.
Grayback.
Yep.
Yep, Greyback. And he was a bastard. It's like he takes great pleasure like in his killings.
Skin in your
You,
face is my fetish.
And the dumbest part is J.K. Rowling decided, no, we're going to axe the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher every book. It's like,
Which is still bullcrap because it goes against like what you had previously established.
Well, we're not going to get into that discussion right now.
well, you have, for me, I'll speak for myself, but in the genre, you have the two types of werewolf character or characterization. You have the one human that starts to lose their humanity and become more animalistic and take pleasure in the joy in what they are. And then you have the classic tragic character, a good man who has been bitten, cannot control what he becomes, and most likely by the end of the movie, he has to commit suicide because he cannot stand what he is. American Wolf in London
Hmm.
gives us that. And of course, the Lon
I
Chaney
wouldn't
classic
say
movie was that.
that he committed suicide. It's more of I wouldn't even call it assisted suicide either. It's just mostly a tragic death. It was
Yeah,
it was all he was already out of options, and or rather he probably did have option. He did have one option left, but that option was squandered, and as soon as he transformed, there was no way of executing said option. And once it came to that light, that's when things broke loose, and the moment chaos reign, order steps in and just shuts it down.
Are you talking about American Wolf in
hmm
London or just particularly? Um,
London.
yes, American Wolf in London. And also in the original Wolfman with Lon Chaney Jr., I believe. And also in the remake with Benicio del
In his
Toro.
case, again, it's the same thing. He had an option. It's just the fact that he didn't have enough time. He ran out of time to execute it. That or if I
But
recall,
in American Wolf in London, his friend kept telling him to take his own life.
oh,
yeah,
Yeah,
my
he kept telling
favorite
him, you have to
version though
die.
that my favorite version of it that wasn't used as much was to simply address it 3 times by its Christian name, while one Danish belief holds that simply scolding a werewolf will cure it.
yeah,
Well, that's it.
it's
That's
true.
a new. That's a new one on me. I would love to see somebody meet a 6-foot werewolf in the woods and go up to him and go, "Shame on you, you bad, bad werewolf! How you go and kill people?
well,
You should ought to be ashamed of yourself." I would
all you
love
have
to
to
If
see.
do is
anyone has ever heard a mother use the voice and scold him, yes, there is power in that. And I have actually seen kids literally flinch up when their full name has been spoken.
But those
Oh,
are
yeah.
kids.
If
Tom,
that
we're
is the
talking about.
case, if that is the case, all you have to do is hire a damn dominatrix.
Yes, the other part that makes it pretty funny to me is I got to see this
No,
the
that
other
probably wouldn't
day.
work. You probably like too damn much.
No, the poor kid got to relive a part from the movie The Christmas Story when the mom put him in that bulky snowsuit. Had him
Mhm.
try on a snow hat.
No, the thing is, if a dominatrix did do that, I don't think it would work. The victim would probably like it too much.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
It ain't
that
nothing.
would be.
There ain't nothing to be ashamed about by then.
Yeah, I'm just now picturing you shaming it into being back in human, but I'm just reminding of Black Dynamite anime series where the one black lady is like scolding the white ape for having a micro dick, but now I'm thinking of Leia doing that to a werewolf.
There, there is a version of that, and it was in I forget which anime it was. I think it was called Inugami or something like that. Basically,
Oh,
basically, the guy had a werewolf condition. He was sent to help this one school fight monsters, and the one person that trained him happened to be a dog trainer, and she had the dommy mommy energy to pull it off. She'd say
Oh,
sit, and the poor guy would be sliding across the floor as he halted into a sitting position.
and then fuck his teacher, who got gang
No,
raped by
no,
her
it
other
never
student.
got that far. She just tell him sit.
No, not that
Or
teacher, his school teacher.
oh, school teacher. Dude, that'd be like the school nurse off of Dan to Dan.
Suicide by cop. William Silva, are you talking about American Wolf in
London.
London? Okay, yeah, he
London.
died by suicide. Well, that's true. I won't argue that, but it's still
Oh, it's suicide by
the
cop.
werewolf finds some
attacking.
way to get to kill themselves one way or another. That one was by cop, but he knew there was a part, like Wolf said, he knew that he had to take himself out or he would keep killing people.
I wouldn't call it suicide if the werewolf was actually actively attacking people. Because
Yeah. And
I'm just saying, I'm
William does
thinking
bring up a way of how
Oh,
to cure someone because of becoming a werewolf. So
Or I
it's
think of
hide and prick it on the brow with a needle 3 times.
there's another movie franchise where the werewolf curse is just unfixable or unbreakable, and that was the Ginger Snaps trilogy.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is that the monk's hood or the wolf's bane was thought to be a cure all when the second movie outright contradicts that and turns it into a suppressant
A
this time around.
limited suppressant that was wearing out quickly.
So that begs the question: what the fuck happened to old boy in the first film? Then
Oh, he came back.
you think so? You think
That
that
was
was
the
him?
one that was following her.
I don't know.
Because she even says, like, where did it come from? It came from suburbia, or pretty much where she came from.
It could have been anybody though. In that case,
Nah, but it's pretty much just confirmed that it was the guy. He wasn't cured, just like she wasn't cured. But since she was taking those like regularly and he didn't, he went full wolf, and he's looking for her because you know. When
okay.
a
This one
wolf
is
wants a
crazier.
lady,
Rub the werewolf's nostrils with opium before bed. I'm looking up
Okay,
cures
now
off of monsters.com.
my God, that the lore is always filled with people who just wanted to be the one that came up with the idea or solution.
Let's not forget that back when the werewolf story first came out, people didn't know how to science real well. So you had a whole bunch of home cures and home remedies
Mhm.
for the cure. Like, for example,
But
this
also,
crazy one. Half an ounce of camphor, 3/4 ounce pneumonia, half an ounce hypericum, 2 drops sulfur, half an ounce castoreum, 6 drops opium, and 3 drops asafoetida. And if that sounds like the ingredient list off the back of a bottle of high chemical OxyClean, then yeah, it kind of is.
Technically, that's the
Oh, and
recipe of how to kill your
make
partner
sure to
slowly.
stir it with a fancy stick and take a cup full of searing liquid and douse the werewolf as well as lashing that thing with the
Why
wand
is it sounding
and
like
saying,
TikTok
"Foul spirit,
challenges?
release this person's soul or return to the great unknown." Repeat 3 times.
Hey, want to cure a werewolf? Introduce him to the Tide Pod challenge.
Yeah, that basically is it. It is the Tide Pod challenge. Personally, I prefer being pelted with rice.
yeah.
Do you put them on delicates or heavy?
Nigga, get that.
Apparently
Nigga, get that
heavy
Werehog.
because
Go
yeah.
Yeah. However, what did I bring up earlier, like there are actually works of fiction that depicts like a person who has been turned into again any were creature, but in this case werewolves. They're actually the heroes. Heroes, and actually one example that well, one of the examples that comes to mind is Werewolf by Night from Marvel Comics. He became a werewolf through mystical means. He's like through a curse, but he didn't let the beast consume him.
Now there was also the were-leopard from Hellboy.
Oh, fuck
Yeah,
him.
and again, the were leopards are an actual thing. It was not created by.
A lot of people I heard like the Werewolf by Night on Disney Plus that Don was speaking of. Their interpretation of the comic, but yes, he is right. This was a werewolf who was heroic.
No, no.
A lot of
Speaking
people.
of were pussies, it sounds like he's having trouble with his.
So how's Snowball doing, Dom?
She's actually she's 1 year old, but in human years, she's 15. So she's a teenager now.
Oh, boy. Good luck with that.
But I was actually gonna stop. I was stopping her like for not having an act, for preventing her from urinating outside of her litter box.
Oh,
Yikes.
Why? You could cheese, Dom. You could cheese and then see all the rotoscope big booby women on flying birds and
Oh,
stuff.
good lord!
So since we briefly brought up Underworld, I do need to deep dive into that whole thing because Underworld is that one branch that just kind of tickles the lore rather than just explicitly just yank the lore and sell it down on it just don't sell to be just one thing, especially when it comes to both vampires and
Right.
werewolves and the mix and the blood wars as they're called mostly.
It's just watered down Vampire Masquerade.
Yep.
I
pretty
always,
much.
Yeah, and also Werewolf the Apocalypse. But the thing with the Underworld series, instead of treating the vampires and werewolves as supernatural beings, things like they're handled like through the lens of science.
Well, let me go ahead and just give a brief cliff notes of said science. So purportedly throughout the history, the human race in one pocket of the world was affected by a rare disease that attacked the blood. One of the one of the villagers that was immune, air quotes, to that disease was Corvinus, being the he was basically just an immortal. He wasn't really just anything outside that. He was an immortal. He had two sons who were also immortal, and basically what they had with their blood was very adaptive blood, so to speak. That was quite mutagenic in its own way.
They got it from their mother.
Yeah. So in other words, what you be what will bite you essentially you become. And Corvinus being the old school one never got bit by anything. Like maybe him being a pure immoral kind of shielded him from that
Mm.
because they're
That never made much sense with that. Like, why was he immortal? What's
yeah,
his
they don't really
special
explain why
lineage?
he was immoral.
And
What
then,
made him
oh
immortal?
well, one got bit by a bat, the other got bit by a wolf. So there's the beginning of vampires and stuff. But if that all it took, like, I'm pretty sure there were things that might have bit them before that, like, I don't know,
Hmm.
mosquito or
I
something,
was thinking of mosquitoes.
Hmm.
I was thinking of mosquitoes,
or maybe a leech. Like, oh wait,
insects,
Huh.
then
and
you'd
like
have like tranny pyres because leeches are hermaphrodites. So yeah, you'd have
Oh, jeez.
pseudopyres. Ooh,
yeah,
Oh, jeez.
it's weird when you throw in the biology aspect to it. Like it's science, but it's specifically targeted biology, and basically whatever bites you just rewrites your genetic makeup afterwards, and it branches off to other things outside that. Because William being the true lichen, which affords them a different design than what the lichens were presented in the first film, which the lichens in that one were kind of like they weren't really the descendants of William. They were the descendants of Lucian, or at least the next gen after Lucian.
yeah,
And
which
Lucian,
they also never really explain. Like, okay, so all the werewolves were werewolves. They couldn't change back or that, but then this one non-Corvinus, non-special werewolf had another non-special, non-Corvinus baby who was born a baby and the unique ability to transform between Forth and that, but still weaker than the actual werewolf, despite being werewolf.
Lucian
It
was
was
Blade. Lucian was Blade. He was born to a mother who was possibly bitten by a werewolf while pregnant, who just so happened to be one of the untransformable lichens of the first gen lichens. Let's call them for simplicity's sake, they're the first gen lichens. So he was born by a first gen lichen, presumably. I'm going to assume the same way Blade was born, and that's how he came to come to be born as a human looking, well, a human baby, though he was a lichen himself. And of course, he even at that time, well, rather, he was born with the ability to change at will without the full moon, or without being the first gen lichen, and that's what made his breed different and special, and and just as dangerous as the first gen. The first gen were vicious. Obviously, they were already in their forms, and that was them at their very viciousness. The second gen are just as dangerous because they can instantly blend in with society until if they're threatened, they can they can power up, and that's what, which is again, I have to always question at all times, how is the vampires winning this war exactly? Because all it takes for a
Right.
werewolf, or at least a lycan from second gen, to do is either bite or scratch, which what they were doing already, which was they were kidnapping any recipient of the descendant of Corvinus, and they would bite them. So who's to say they weren't doing that with other people as well, recruiting them into their ranks, either by force or
Mm-hmm.
by coercion, or even through some form of sense of belonging. They probably pick up homeless people off the ground and bite them and tell them that they're entering a new life, a new opportunity, and they. But then you get into the hybrid things, and my God, the fourth movie really screwed the pooch on how the hybrids work, or how they're supposed to work. And the only way a hybrid is only
Also,
able
the
to.
vampires too.
True. I'm gonna get into. Well, we're not here to talk about the vampires right now. We'll
I
say that
know.
for
I'm
another
just
time.
saying they added a whole new layer of power to the vampires. So
Yeah, yeah,
Beckinsale's Celine got a power. Like even the first older vampires weren't like this, but yeah, whatever.
well, again, when we talk about vampires again, we'll cover their shitty side of things.
But we
The
are
hybrids,
talking about we are talking about were creatures.
regardless, I'm gonna stick to just the lichen side for now. Just have a cohesive thought here. But the thing is,
Oh no, that's
the
fine.
whole the,
We say
hang on,
vampires for later.
hang on. The hybrids only work if you have the blood of Corvinus, a pure blood of Corvinus, or if you're a descendant of the Corvinus strain. Otherwise, if you're bitten by both, you just die instantly, because
Which
either
also they
either
never explain on that too.
well, it's supposedly both bites are a bit venomous
But I
towards each
mean,
other.
descendants of Corvinus, but he never addresses having other children. I mean, obviously he's long lived, so he probably banged plenty of other women, maybe. But I'm like,
You're asking how
okay.
diluted is the blood then by that point.
But, you know, obviously his first kids were, you know, they were transformative, blah blah, but also immortal. So if he had other kids, why didn't they like whatever bit them or whatever
Hmm.
toxic thing they got exposed to, or why aren't some of
Hmm.
them immortal?
Right.
Shit. And if he didn't have other kids, then that means maybe cousins of that. But if that's the case, why would they be special if they live and die like normal people, whereas for whatever reason he didn't? Like it's just one of those things that never made sense when you
Yeah, they
think
they
about
never
it.
really yeah,
And then
they
they
don't,
killed him off, and it's like, oh well, there goes the last Corvinus, the last true Corvinus. So who cares?
which don't explains the hybrids in the fourth film. At least like one of the hybrids, and then you have the Uber Lycan, which we don't really know how. They don't really go into detail how he is made.
Science.
Just science. He's just this big, oversized lichen that can regenerate fast, like accelerate. He has accelerated regeneration, and not counting his fools. Like again, once again, how is the vampires are the ones still the top dogs, or at least in the case of the fourth one, they're kind of low in the food chain at this point.
And they're
But
also
even
kind of
then,
screwy with the blood war thing, because like, oh hey, if
Blood
you get
Wars.
exposed to like the blood of a werewolf or maybe a bite or scratch, you'll become a hybrid if you're a Corvinus. I mean, that's how.
And here he's taking like as a super soldier serum.
What's his name? The one in two,
Marcus.
Marcus, right? And obviously, you think, well, during the war, I mean, it's war. There were no guns and stuff, and obviously, we see when they do combat, there's a lot of scratching, a lot of fighting, a lot of blood flashing everywhere. So obviously, William might have got scratched, bit, or since he was a dog with dog mentality, he obviously bit into a lot of the vampire people. So he just ingested vampire blood.
But you understand, Dark, he has the blood of Corvinus that protects him from such things. But they also even established that again. They
Marcus
also
ingested wolf blood, and he became a hybrid.
That's because he's a descendant of Corvinus.
But William should have also as well, because I don't know.
True.
It's
transfusion. The transfusion thing, it just doesn't add up. It's whatever the movie wants it to do.
And then there's, of course, like, again, when you come back to Lucian, it's like not special, but is special despite not being Corvinus, and he was banging a vampire and she was pregnant, and like they never really explored like what could that have turned into. Like, could that have been a hybrid without a Corvinus?
Probably would have died stillbirth. To be honest,
maybe not. You don't know. Nobody knows.
Could
they just kill it.
Yep, could have been stillbirth.
And never even in the more modern times do they really explore, like, what if a vampire chick and a Lycan, just decide, fuck them, we're tired of fighting, let's fuck.
It begs the question, where does the science end and the magic comes in at? Because even then, like, you also got the blood memories and to account for when you drink. Even the werewolves have this ability too. Besides the vampires, once you receive their blood or transfusion their blood, you get their blood memories. We're going on and on about it. It's weird in that franchise. It's like,
it's just whatever. Look at the funny transformations and bullets and pew flying fucking fighting.
Flip flop.
When the Underworld series was still hitting its stride, it honestly could have been like the jumpstart adaptation of the classic World of Darkness through movies or television.
I think they made too many sequels. It went longer than it should have had.
Too many sequels is not the problem, Leia.
Okay, maybe. Well, I'm just talking for me. I'm speaking for myself. You could have a very good point, but me personally, I think it went longer than it should have had. But continue.
No, it was a franchise. This was the franchise war. We had the fast franchise with the Transformers franchise. We had the growing Marvel Cinematic Universe franchise. It was.
They also started with the wrong movie.
Yeah,
I mean,
should have been Rise of the Lycans.
Yeah, because when I see the first one, I'm like, Michael Sheen, he's a much more interesting character than Kate Beckinsale and all that, and I like his story more. And then Rise of the Lycans, this felt more like the beginning of something that is more investing, not. Michael, I'm a vampire. You're now a hybrid. Please fuck me, but we can't admit that we want to fuck. I'm older than you, but don't think about that. Just fuck me. Okay.
They ain't talk like that. They ain't even address shit like that.
It's reading the room. Admit it.
It's the most awkwardest sex scene recorded in history too. They weren't even in the right positions to be bumping
Oh
and
God.
grinding. It's supposed to be a
They were in
big
some
moment too,
dusty ass
and
warehouse. Ooh, you think their senses for
well, the thing is, it's
smell and
supposed to
everything
be
would
like
be
a
like,
big moment, but we didn't really establish enough of a relationship between her and Michael. And they just, I guess, surviving death a second time makes you horny.
everything was just so fast forwarded with the 2 million. I don't know. They make with the timing and all that. It feels longer, but they make it come off like it's just been a couple of nights.
Hmm. On the run too, no less.
The second one
Yeah,
was supposed to pick up where the first one left off. Maybe
It
that's why. Maybe you feel the way
no,
it's
it's
supposed
not
to
supposed to.
feel.
It actually did.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the thing is, everything was happening so fast. Like it's like they
I
wanted them to
agree.
be a couple right then. There should have been a couple in the fourth movie. By that point, they should be learning to work. There's supposed to be like at least like a gap between the two. Then
I'm
again,
just
the motherfucker kissed her ass in the first film out of the blue upon meeting her one night after having her hand wrapped around his neck, hoisted up against the wall.
Why does this sound like a romantasy plot?
Because it was.
well,
But my
because Michael Martin Sheen and Kate Beckinsale were a thing, but she kind of went behind him with screwing the director, Speedman or whatever. So obviously, of course, they're no longer together. But
yeah.
obviously, Michael Corvinus was his insert, so that's
no,
why it
she
was
she
fast forwarded.
Scott. Wait, she had an affair with Scott Speedsman.
No,
No,
not
she
Scott Speed, the
the
director.
direct. I
Lynn
forgot the
Wiseman.
director's name. Yeah, Les Weissman. She had an
Right.
affair with him. They got married during this time, and like they're no longer together. They divorced, but during that time, she was involved with the director, Les Weissman.
Mm-hmm.
And I think by the second one, they had married because they
Like shit. She was also with Scott Speedman. Damn, she a hoe.
because the director
Hmm.
they talked about how can you direct your wife in these love scenes and you're both married, you know. And they talked about that. And she had to do those love scenes with Scott Speedman, and about that time she had married to the director. So
Yeah, she
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
was with Martin Sheen at that time when during the first meeting. I think she also had his
yeah,
kid not too long before started filming and just screwing the director. So
yeah.
yeah,
So she was
Kate,
dating Martin Sheen, and then and then they started, and then the movie they started filming the movie, and then she went to Les Wiseman. She started seeing Les
yeah,
Wiseman. Yeah,
after
yeah, it's
having
Hollywood.
Sheen's kid,
Yeah, that's Hollywood for you. Don't
She weird.
that's why these I don't want to hear this crap about some of these women in Hollywood about unfair treatment. Some of these women are hot in the panties just as much as the men. They are. They just want to pretend like they're not. They don't want to take accountability for their behavior, but a lot of them are hot in the pants just like the guys are. Because Hollywood just wants to focus on the men having affairs, but the actresses are just as hot.
it explains why Sheen in that movie looked like every woman's hot topic dream to melted ice cream these days.
Oh God.
No, that's one way to put it.
Mhm. Many of those
He
I
was
don't.
in
That's
Twilight.
Yeah, he was one of
Yeah.
the Vampire Council.
AKA
Which
the better
surprisingly
character.
is cited by even people who hate Twilight as one of the best things of the movies was him as the vampire count. It's the same with when he was in Tron Late. He just stole the whole scene when he got to the nightclub at the
Hmm.
end of the line.
It was the best
He's
thing
a great
about
actor.
Passengers.
Hmm.
Even though I like Passengers where everybody else hated that movie, I was like Martin Sheen was the best in that film, and he played a robot. And he played it
Yeah, and he
really
didn't have to
well.
do any fingering or blowing.
But no, like that's Underworld. Then again, you have uh sorry, I was thinking of the next weird werewolf thing that kind of tries to break from the mold of mythology and supernatural. Trying to think.
The recent Wolfman, where it's an AIDS analogy.
Oh God. What about the Beast Within? What was that about? Because I could barely get through that fucking movie with all the fucking pigs screaming.
Good
It
question.
will,
I'm just saying, like I could, like fuck me, every freaking 5 minutes, pig is screaming. I was like, can y'all not use stock pig screams? It's like at least kill the motherfucker already. I had never advocated violence against an animal on set of a fucking film until that film came up. And I'm just sitting here just waiting for the motherfucker to turn to a beast already. It's like, man, you were asking way too much for me to wait for this motherfucker to turn to a damn werewolf. It's like by the time this motherfucker turned to a werewolf, my ears be bleeding from all that damn pig screaming. But what? Don't pig squeal. Not this pig. This pig was screaming. These little piggies were screaming. No, I'm kidding.
This little piggy had roast beef. This little piggy had none. And this little piggy cried wee, 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 wee all the way to the movies.
well, back to HBO. Like, please give me another show. It's the only thing I'm going to be known and good for.
I have no idea what show you guys are talking about.
It starred Kit Harington, who played Jon Snow.
It's a Game of Thrones show?
No.
No, Beast
Oh, okay.
Within.
It's
Oh,
a movie.
okay. Oh, I never saw it.
It was done by A21. I was
Oh.
hoping to get something good out of that. And oh boy, I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure it has some good qualities, but again, my goodness, that constantly hearing pigs screaming, just, just going throughout that whole freaking movie, the first half, I mean, I'm just like, oh my goodness, can y'all just kill the pig already? Just fucking kill the pig already. Y'all gonna hate me in the morning for just about hearing me saying that. I was like, my God. And this is the guy who watched Cannibal Holocaust, who sat through the pig thing.
Ironically, there is a wereboar.
I know.
Yes, they are a thing.
But like I said, I was like I was hoping to watch that more so than the wolf that Bloomhouse Wolfman. And I'm scared to call that one the better film. Because 3 werewolf movies came out in 1 year, believe it or not. 3. There was The Beast Within, there was the Bloomhouse Wolfman, and then there was Werewolves, which was that one was more disappointment. Because that one had a nice premise to it. It was not The Purge, but with werewolves as people thought it was. It was more what would be a good comparison? Actually, that's not the really the comparison. It just had Purge like aesthetic, but it wasn't really The Purge with werewolves.
It's kind of like Daybreakers.
Yeah, kind of like that, but except Daybreakers was just about a dystopian
A what?
Uh, something happened to the audio.
Your
Yeah,
audio went out. Well,
it sounds like it. Yeah, well, since you brought up like Dick, like Dick, as about the movie, yeah, it's a movie set in a dystopian future where most of humanity have been turned into vampires. Yeah, yeah, we didn't. Yeah, well, I mean, vampire is centric. It would have been interesting, if there were actually humans that were actually transformed into, also like they became werewolves.
Oh, he's gone.
Let's see.
oh, he'll probably have to come back in. Unfortunately, I did not see the movies that he mentioned because I didn't hear good word of mouth. Maybe
Well,
you
you're
all see
better for it.
differently. Oh, thank you. Okay, I'm glad I saved my money. And to me personally, my own instinct came in and said, "This just doesn't look good." Oh, and I just passed on it. It's like they overthink what you don't have. They're overthinking a werewolf story. You don't have to
Yeah,
overthink. You got everything you need is there. You don't have to overthink it. And if you overthink it, people are not going to enjoy it.
It's not also
oh yeah,
overthinking. They really just want to try and reinvent
yeah. Try to
these things.
reinvent the wheel instead of building a car. Because like, see, I mean, with werewolves, and werewolves and other were creatures, like they have, like there's the foundation, there's the history and mythology behind them. So instead of trying to actually make a new work of fiction featuring these were creatures, and shapeshifters as well, besides the werewolves.
Right.
Yet, like there's also like some of this tendency of trying to remove the supernatural from these like century supernatural beings.
Did y'all catch what I was explaining?
Nope.
No.
Do you want me to explain it?
Yeah,
What
sure.
you
Yeah.
Before you got before you got cut off.
Where was the disappointment? What most because of the idea that there was this event called the supermoon, and the supermoon is like this very it was kind of like it's kind of like the way how the moon works in Dragon Ball, or at least the way how
Right.
the ooze works in later instances of in Dragon Ball GT specifically, where it's in Dragon Ball GT they science the magic in that one with the floods wave effect. In Werewolves, the supermoon effect basically affects everybody on the planet that looks at the moon when it's full. So, in other words, it's pretty much built into us the lycanthropy. It's the fact that we
Which
can
comes from they don't know where.
exactly,
Ooh, mystery.
which is fine that that whole thing stays a mystery. I'm cool with that. It's just the fact that I like the idea of anybody could be a werewolf if they gaze at the moon. So half the time you see somebody that's doing their best to try to shield themselves from the moon, like board their windows, their doors. One girl uses her jacket to prevent herself from looking at the moon, or at least the light shining up on her. Where the disappointment comes from is majority of the time when the disaster strikes, the protagonists that we're following are walking through apocalyptic levels of areas, looking areas, and barely anywhere will show up. At least until like close, at least like somewhere in between and close to the third act.
Hmm.
Werewolves that we see show up in the first act where shit breaks loose, and then you got other things showing up but don't get expounded upon enough. Like a sub faction that looked like the Mole Man from these not these Marvel comics, or at least dressed like him, not looking like him. They just dress
And
like him.
plus, if they want to go the sciencey, they don't really explain the whole moon thing. I mean, granted, you can understand the moon thing like in the like some spiritual or like olden context before they understood like the moon doesn't really produce light, it's just reflected light from the sun.
Hmm.
So in essence, it's the sun that's going to turn you into a werewolf.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I'm just saying,
pretty
like
much.
we could have had a full on just chaos just erupting where some people are fighting, where you do get at least like a few shots of that of people fighting the werewolves off, and the implications of you killing someone's uh son, daughter, cousin, uncle, grandmother, grandpa, whatever. It's like you're not fighting a force that's trying to set themselves up as the dominant dominant beast on the planet, or an occult, or a curse that's been implemented on people, and people are just slowly embracing their bestial side. It's regular people that straight up just turns the beast because of a moon event, and it happens every
Mm.
200 years. Apparently, I think that's what they established, that it happens every 200 years or so, or
Yeah,
less.
But still, a full moon can screw you up as well.
Yeah,
A normal full moon, because something happened prior to the super moon. But yeah, whatever.
you got people that comes in, some that have bite marks, claw marks. Some already have lost their minds due to the transformation. Some people have embraced the bestial side. Some of them even look like junkies, you know. But that's what I'm saying. Like the test subjects that they brought in with to test out the cure, they don't even turn up in the film. They're there, and then they just bamf off into it and fade from existence. It's like there's no centralized character for that faction to at least like track them at, or tell them, And you would think that one of the worlds being one of the protagonists' husband, you would get dare I say it, a 28 weeks later situation where he's stealthily tracking them down. Those who've seen 28 weeks later know what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
hmm
But yeah, that one was the most. Like, I avoided the Wolfman. I avoided. But then I was hoping to go into some B movie schlock with werewolves, and what I got was sci-fi movie levels of just meandering through L.A., which there's nothing to differentiate that city anymore. It's like they didn't build that set. That set was like that when they filmed it. Not sure they were really filming in LA, but if they were, I was like, yeah, you're not dressing up that set. It's like it was right there when you filmed it. But that's my ramble review of werewolves. And I tried to get through Beast Within, and I damn sure ain't finna watch the Wolf Man, if that's what that fucking movie is about. I just hope that actors go places, because I guess she's fine in Weapons. I heard Weapons was good.
She's okay. Weapons was okay to me, but other people may see it differently.
She might be the next Millie Bobby Brown.
Could be, could be. I will say that.
And funny enough, she's older than Millie Bobby Brown, which I
Mhm.
say that and I'm inside chuckling. It's like, but she's older than her. Yeah, she's gonna be the next Millie Bobby Brown to me. But yeah, the werewolf genre is not. It's not. I'm not expecting to make a comeback. I expect to just see some good to decent werewolf films. That's all I'm asking from it. So I'm not expecting the genre to resurrect itself.
Oh, maybe Eggers will do a better werewolf movie than a Nosferatu movie.
You and I are both. Well, I'm tired. I cannot formulate the words I'm trying to say. I have something way to say. No, but like I think Eggers is really trying to put in his take of the Universal monster movies. At this point, there's
He's
a pattern.
fine. He's got great style and atmosphere. He just needs better. Well, he does the writing, and that's his problem. He needs probably somebody else to do the writing, or somebody to really help him with the writing and characters.
He's got to stop with the still shot reverse shots too. They're kind of getting a bit too samey,
Mhm.
where people are just standing staring at each other, and he just cuts between the two constantly. So I'm recognizing that aspect of his directing that
Wait, he did a
I'm,
film version of the Talking Head Syndrome?
you could kind of say that. It's just the fact that there's a lot of times he does these conversations where people are just standing in you know they're standing in front of each other, but he's constantly cutting back and forth between them. And it's supposed to be it's supposed to he's basically shooting it like it's supposed to air in the unsettling and the uneasy when you're it's like you it's like that feeling where you're forcing yourself to face the person that you're talking to, but you can't, or or you just feel very uncomfortable facing that person. You know, or he's trying to, or at least he's trying to show film conversations between two people, and it's hard to explain, to be honest. You have to watch a scene of one of his movies to get what I'm talking about.
Dramatic character interactions.
Kind of, yeah, basically. Take the Northman for example. There's a scene where he's talking to an oracle, and it's just cutting back and forth between him and the oracle, and later on in the film he does it again with the he witch, and even before those two scenes, well, this one actually this one was actually fine. It's the one where he's doing the ritual with the king and Amalek, and that was fine. But once you see it, you start noticing it, and take it for what you will, whether you like it or not, whether it's annoying. I'm fine with it. I just know that a lot of people don't really like it to some degree. I know Dark doesn't like it.
Like what?
The shot reverse shot in
Eh,
his films.
it's it's not really. It's fine, probably as a small thing, but not something he overuses it too much. But really, I would just say his biggest problem with his movies is his writing. It's good. I mean, it's a lot better than a lot of the other written films and shows, but it just needs that extra stuff, and he ain't delivering on it. He needs a better writer.
Would you say it's a pacing thing too?
Yeah, a bit too. I mean, as much as interesting as the lighthouse was, it just felt like it kind of dragged.
Yeah, yeah. I
Same
mean, it's
with the
not.
Northman
It's not like
after a certain point. It's just draggy. The
yeah.
Vivitch was just drag. Nosferatu was interesting, but it just kind of dragged
Dragged.
after he got to the city of Venice and like whatever.
I cared nothing for that
So,
Nosferatu
but
movie. Don't want to see that thing again.
consistently with Edgar's,
You
like
with
the
Joe
movies,
Pesci,
the movies
what
are
you
good.
complain about, Leia, you would think that this would be the movie for her, because
I
she was.
never liked.
What if she?
I
What if she's the one who kept asking about? I want some monsters and vampires again.
No.
Right.
No. I want my vampires to be sexy. I didn't say the monstrous. I want them to be sexy. What happened to the sexy vampires? You know
Oh boy.
the stats, the David from the Lost Boys, the Jason Patricks, the Bill Comptons. Dragon vampires are sexy, sensual creatures. Not
And she
old
also wants
dusty.
her vampires pegged instead of them pegging.
Look,
I knew he was gonna get it in there. So I have
there are
never liked
those
Nosferatu.
like those vampires are still around, but throughout history, mythology, and folklore, not all vampires like retain like their human looks. Don't show to be quite monstrous. So
Don, you got a good point. I don't doubt you one bit, but I guess I'm spoiled. They ain't call me whatever you want. I like my vampires hot and sexy. I'm sorry.
So Edward,
I am guilty of
Team
that.
Edward. Okay, I like them sparkly.
No, not the sparkly ones. Please,
He
people,
said
not the sparkly
beautiful and
ones.
sexy.
She was hoping
No,
he would have some glamour to him,
no,
like
not
in Bram Stoker's Frankenstein. She was hoping he would have some glamour.
No, not the Twilight.
No,
Decipher.
she wants her Anne Rice vampire.
Yeah, Anne Rice, Brad Pitt, Lost Boys, True Blood,
Wait,
Eric.
you want them underage?
No, not.
Seriously?
You just feeding them at this point.
Yeah, I guess at this point, I was.
You really are. You're just giving Dark more ammo.
Yeah, well, I was trying. You're right. I was trying to decipher because Twilight. No, Twilight is pure crap. But you're right. I'm just giving Don more ammo, so I'll cut it there.
Like I said, you were just hoping that Orlok had some glamour to him.
I never liked him. I never liked him in the original. I've never liked him down the years. Orlok is one of those vampires I've never liked. I'm sorry.
Oh, wow.
I'm just not in. I'm not into.
Wow.
I've never been into Nosferatu. Never been into him.
Tried
to get it. Never want to see that thing again. Good gracious almighty! What the? Watch it. See what is this?
Let me guess. Is Nosferatu the kind of guy that if he tried to give you a pickup line, you'd be calling human services?
Yes.
Well, let's face it, he's better than the latest Masquerade game.
Yes.
Quasimodo-looking Nosferatu.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Instead of creepy, he's like, "I hope you got your shot, stud, because we like going hard."
Oh
yeah, I mean everybody is turning that new Vampire the Masquerade game to shreds. So it's like even like the casuals.
But back to Wolves. How about Van Helsing? How about the?
I like Van Helsing movie. I like it. I don't care if everybody. I don't understand why that movie doesn't get any love. But go ahead, Wolf.
Van Helsing's Werewolves was the pinnacle.
Very much. And
to me
And Steven
that was the peak
Sommers,
of
like he
where.
know his monsters.
Okay,
Well, the
one
thing
at a
is,
time, Dom.
it was the pinnacle of where werewolves could have went right then and there. The idea that when you transform, you shed your skin. When you change back, you shed your skin. It was fascinating. That was like a nice mythical thing to do, especially if it ties back to what we were talking about tonight. The fact that you know some some people become werewolves due to wearing pelts. So it's like you're disrobing your pelt off your body.
Hmm.
In this case, your own skin. In another case, you're discarding your werewolf pelt.
I
So
kind
that.
of wish they went hard R with that movie, and then you
Hmm.
have prosthetics and stuff with it instead of CG. Could you imagine how freaky that would have been if Hugh Jackman just started peeling away and like bits of fur and all that just coming out? Like,
Ooh.
I really did
You know
like
that
how.
would no
they
honestly like
like ripped
logical.
off his face, and here's like this
Yeah,
wolf face. Like, ooh.
Yeah. No, I mean that would honestly like be the next logical step. Like after what was shown like with the body horror, but the transformation scene in an American Werewolf in London.
I really
Mm-hmm.
It would
like
be like a nice
how
fusion between practical effects and CGI.
I really like how Velkin, when he first transformed, you know, there's moments when he climbs up on the in the corner of the room that they were that him and what's her name was in. You know, he's
Anna,
uncon
Hannah.
yeah, and
Celine.
where he uncontrollably just his arms are just moving like they have minds of their own, just tearing off his skin like the arms was assisting him in transforming. You see, and even then, like it almost looked like he's floating up there, but technically his feet and hands are actually bracing themselves onto the wall behind him, which was really cool because you you can never you can barely tell, but like only reason why you can barely tell is the fact that they're moving so fast with it. So what
Mm-hmm.
when one hand lets go to rip off the skin, another hand grabs the wall real quick as that one lets go, and then there's a counter to his feet also nailing themselves into the wall as he's doing this too. So it kind of looked like he was flowing, but he technically wasn't. But I love the way how they shot it though. It's
Hmm.
like Spider-Man, you know, especially when he
Well,
first climbs up to it. He just climbs up like he's a like he's. Is there a spider in this?
hmm?
I think somebody. I thought you guys were gonna scare me tonight.
Hmm. Okay.
Well, there are wolf spiders.
Shut up.
Oh, one of my
Anyways,
favorites is the Huntsman.
mm, there was that. There was also that one Little Red Riding Hood movie that came out in what 2011.
Yeah, with Sobeys,
That was
Sodius,
silly.
Amanda Seyfried.
Yeah, that was silly.
Seyfried, right?
That one was fine for what it was.
Oh, not for
It
me.
just came out at a time where everybody really did not.
It
It
was
can't.
interesting when Gary Oldman showed up, and then it was just boring when he died.
Yeah, they
Well, the
tried
thing
to turn
is,
a nursery rhyme or into a horror story, and it didn't work out. It didn't
well,
work.
no, it had to make us of a horror story. It just came around a time where everybody was getting so tired of the overly serious, overly dark, overly monstrous to what we have today. I'm pretty sure anybody who revisits this movie will probably just say I judged you too harshly.
Yep.
Because I love the cinematography of the film and that poster. Oh my god, that poster! Like my god, that is peak. That is one of the peakest. I hate to use that word, but that is one of the peakest posters I've ever seen of the time of filmmaking. That poster
Jeffrey was
alone was
hot.
that's back when she was hot, but just her in the woods where she's wearing the red hood and she's over basically contrast with the snow and the forest and the trees being long and tall, making her small, like she's like this big not big, but she's like an apple in the middle of the forest. Like, and thank God that they didn't put no wolf shadow or no wolf in the background. It's just her alone in the woods, and that's just my God. Wish I had that poster. That was like that's one of my favorite posters of that time. Next to whatever else that came out that was probably eye catching
Didn't
too.
Hoodwink show up around that time?
Yeah, Hoodwink came along too. I'm just like, man, that I wanted to see that I wanted to see that movie in theaters too. I never got a chance to. And then I finally got around to seeing it. I was like, well, that was disappointing.
Yep.
I guess spiders were a symbol of Loki.
No, the
And
thing
he had a
is,
wolf boy called Fenrir.
well, here's the thing. I say it's disappointing most because of the design. It always ends up with the design of the wolf. It was a literal wolf and not a werewolf. And I was hoping it was going to be a werewolf, but it's actually a shapeshifter that turns into a wolf. And I was disappointed. The wolf wasn't
Sad.
even big. I mean, he was big, but he needed to be bigger. That's all I was hoping he would be. He would be bigger,
That's what she said.
right? I thought it would have been bigger. I seen bigger.
Any thoughts, Leia?
No, not really. The show you're talking about, I never watched.
It's a movie.
So,
It's a movie. Let's talk about a movie.
are we still talking about the Red Riding Hood movie?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yes.
Which
No,
really should have been
I-
big game changer and a change of pace in filmmaking at that time. It was really setting this. They were really trying to set that movie up to be something like big, something special, some sort of shake up where I guess they were trying to experiment on taking dark takes on the grim fairy tales.
yeah, that's what I was about to say. I think this film was trying to take a dark take, and
Wait,
I still think the Twilight thing was still out there. Like, whoa, people like werewolves. Okay,
they
well, let's
were
take this
Breaking
fairy
Dawn
tale.
trying
like
to
that.
do a dark take on a fairy tale that literally had to be nerfed by Disney in order for it to be safe for children.
I think we already had that. It was called In the Company of Wolves in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because I actually like that movie.
The thing again, I think that's what they were really trying to. That was kind of like their last chance of experimenting outside of the summer. I think that's another thing that they kind of did. I think they released it during the summer too, or did they release it during the fall, like November? Did it come out October? It came out in October, right?
I might have.
Because it went largely unnoticed. Barely anybody knew it existed. Barely anybody remembers it.
Well, the Company of Wolves.
No, Red Riding Hood.
I just think it was a cheap shot at it. Like you said, it was a cheap shot at trying to take a grim fairy tale and make it dark. And to me, it just did not work.
No. The Grim Fairy Tales was always dark, but my thing
Yes,
is
but
they were trying to adapt the Grimm fairy tales. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. They have been always dark, but I just think this movie just didn't work. It missed the mark of what it was trying to do.
No, just timing.
No,
Nobody
they were
wasn't
mature.
ready.
Well, also
Nobody was
with the
ready.
Grimm fairy, yeah, with the Grimm fairy tales, like yeah, the thing is like they're mature, but not a caricature of mature.
No, it's just that it came at the wrong time. It
Yeah,
came at the tail end where everybody was getting tired of everything being so grim and dark. That's why the Marvel movies were so well received. I mean, yeah, they were
Hmm.
serious, but they were still fun.
Yeah,
yeah.
I agree with you. I even myself, I'm like, oh,
Like
oh,
at
can
that
we
Yeah.
get
time,
some
already
darkness
at
to get
that
all this
time, the
darkness?
Marvel movies were really starting to get their footing in, and
Yeah,
we were
around the
still.
first phase. Yeah,
Hmm. And Red Riding Hood came out around a time where it was like, oh, I'm so sick and tired of this dark and edgy shit.
Hmm. And also,
That's pretty much
well,
what we
also
were
like
doing.
during this time period, we also had like Hunter and Gretel witch hunters. Like it wasn't
I,
dark and edgy. It was fun.
it was. I was about to bring that one up too. That came out 2 years after though, and even then, that should have been well received too.
I know, right? And also like it had the makings things of establishing like a new shared universe, but it involves the Grimm fairy tales
Uh,
and even other fairy tales.
I don't want it to be tied to anything. I wanted it to just be its own thing.
What?
Let it
Hear
be its
me
own
out.
thing.
What?
I'm
Hear me
hearing you
out.
out.
Just to, look, just like establish a verse, but the films they're standalone doing their own thing. You can throw in a reference, yeah, throw in like references,
No,
but the mo
I heard enough. No, you're not wrong, but I'm just saying no. Let them be their own thing. Let people question whether or not. Let people just headcanon them being in the same universe, but keep them separate. Ultimately, not everything has to be a connected universe, and that's where we went wrong at.
yeah, no,
Everybody wants a
I mean,
connected
heck, I
universe, and
mean,
now
even
everybody
like
wants a
the
multiverse.
I agree.
yeah,
Hmm.
well, that's not. Oh, that shouldn't happen because movies should do their own thing. Like even
Mm.
like the te- like the Universal movies like from the '90s. It is in like the Universal Monsters was done by Universal Studios, but different studios. They were standalone.
Mhm. Yep, and people can headcanon all they want, whether or not
Well,
they're connected.
so far, my favorite parody of all the Universal monster movies was the Creature of the Black Lagoon versus the Romantasy Readers.
But let's start wrapping it up. I'm getting tired. You can already hear
well,
in my voice.
yeah.
It is late on
What
my
can we
end.
say? What can we say about like werewolves and were creatures like in media? Because they're not going anywhere anytime soon.
Spade and neuter.
I would like to see a return to the classic werewolf, like the kind we got in my favorites, American Werewolf
Oh,
in
we're getting that back,
London,
Leia.
The Howling. Well, I hope I see a good one. So
We've
I'll
all,
end it with
well,
that.
the thing is, Leia, you've been living on a rock. We've already gotten that back. Twilight
Well,
ended with Rick and Dawn Part Two. We started getting that back
oh, I
after
guess I've been
those.
living on a rock
After
then.
Teen Wolf was a start, and then we got Dog Soldiers. We got Wolves with directed by David Hayter. Though that one, I
Yep.
would say that was a bit more of a kind of like a action an action movie that just happened to have werewolves in it.
Right.
I mean, he's directed by the guy
Yeah.
who voiced Solid Snakes. What can
What
you
again?
do?
I mean,
Before
yeah.
those, we had Hang On, Dom, Damn. Pretty much about the name, the shit that you're gonna probably say anyway. Before that, we had Skinwalkers. So you probably didn't notice it because you're too entangled with your hatred towards Twilight. Because amongst Twilight, we were actually getting the healing process of getting the werewolves that you're hoping to see again. To be honest, you never realized that we were actually getting that back little by little. And like I said, we had skinwalkers,
Bad
we had
movie.
wolves. It was definitely a bad movie. I
Oh
was
yeah.
disappointed by
Well,
that.
definitely.
Cool poster though. That poster. Speaking of another poster, that poster was awesome. That poster was fucking vicious. I was like, dude, if I didn't see the trailers, that poster alone would have got me in the seats in the theaters. Jesus Christ, a chick with fangs protruding her mouth and spit flying out her mouth. Ooh wee! It's a shame they contrasted it with a white background though. It's the only criticism I have for that poster, but that whole composition. Oh my goodness, we need to talk about posters one of these days. We gotta do a stream talking about posters.
Oh, don't worry, Fearless Leader. We will be talking about posters next sales.
I know.
And it'll be boring.
It's gonna be next year.
No, it won't.
Come on, Eeyore, cheer up. Nah,
Yeah.
the thing is, Leia, it has already happened. You probably was just avoiding them. You need to watch Dog Soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen Dog Soldiers. I've seen that many times. So you're right
All
about
right.
that one. I've seen Dog Soldiers. I've seen that one many times. I don't think it's just my hate of Twilight. I'm at a point now where if it's a good werewolf story, I will give it praise. But if it's not, I won't bother with it. So I don't see that just that connection. It's just maybe I haven't seen a good one in a long time. That's just me.
Maybe you can probably check out Wolves, but don't expect horror. Just expect fun. Just big dumb fun with that one. And if you can stomach the werewolf prosthetics, you'll be fine. They're not really anything to write home about. They're cartoonish looking. But hey, Jason Momoa's in it at the height of his Khal Drogo phase. So I don't know how you want to take his acting in this film because this was pre Game of Thrones. Lucas Till is in it. Havoc. You can tell a movie where it was.
I think it's on Amazon. I think it's on Amazon Prime. If I see it, I'll tell you. I'll let you know about it.
You should also check out Abigail. Abigail's was my vampire film of all time.
Oh, dude, Abigail was great, and it still is.
Anyways, I thank everybody for being here. Those well, there's none of you now. It's 0 on the indicator now. I guess you guys went to bed. And of course, those nonsense motherfuckers keep popping in and out. Thank you everybody for joining us tonight. Whoever was still here, we had Hate, we had mostly William. Well, I guess tonight was a bust. I don't know. I guess if you guys reach the tail end of this, hopefully tomorrow we're doing something special. I guess we're talking about something. I don't know.
Wait, tomorrow?
And yeah, tomorrow.
I haven't
really?
found any Gray Spider stories yet.
Oh, we're not gonna do that, humble.
Okay.
We don't want to encourage dark.
Wait, so
Do what?
so for tomorrow, are we doing a chill stream or what's happening?
Yeah, it's a chill stream.
Oh, all
Might as
right.
well be. I'm not running out of ideas. I'm just pacing out the ideas until we get to our main events, like remembering Bruce Lee and The Crow.
Remembering Bruce. Yeah, Bruce. Of course, I'm sorry for those two. As for like what's happening for like next Thursday's Will Millennials, I was gonna talk. The theme is on Veterans Day.
Yeah, we gotta talk about our soldiers once
Hmm.
again.
Real and fictional alike.
The Hound of the South, Dominic Powell, everyone.
Thank you everybody for joining us in tonight's episode of Real Millennials, where we talk about werewolves and other types of were creatures. Make sure you stay tuned for next Thursday. Well, not next, but this coming Thursday, the Real Millennials, where the themes on Veterans Day talk about like honoring our soldiers, real and fictional alike, and hope you all have a good rest of your day or night. This is the Hound of the South, Dominic Powell signing off, and remember, keep up the good fight, maintaining hope, idealism, and optimism alive in the world, because remember, cynicism and nihilism are for losers. Hope you all have a good rest of your night.
He's so got to work on his whatever he is that he does. The lovely Leia Ballet plus size.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. This is Leah Plus Size, your lovely lady of valor, and thank you for the discussion about werewolves. If you would like to list below any of your favorite werewolves from any type of media, maybe you've got one from a comic book, maybe you've got one from a film or a TV show, whatever media, please leave it in the comments below. I'm sure Wolf will really appreciate that. Or if you've got a favorite werewolf movie, tell us why you like it. Why is it your favorite? I'm sure Wolf will appreciate that as well. And anybody else who's a fan of these creatures, please like and share this videos with others, and so they can enjoy it as well. Until then, everybody have a good weekend. See you next time.
The Humbles of Writers, Humble Marty.
Hello, I am Humble Marty and I write things. I hope everyone has a nice night and catch you on the replay.
The Stranger Danger, Dark Stranger.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
And hope he gets well. This is your Wolf Commander Wolf to remind you guys once again that you are the UN Space Fleet. Welcome to the Wolf Fleet.